Before we start another episode of Rooted in Reading, it is Thursday, y'all, and I need some coffee, a little pick-me-up. So we are headed into my favorite little coffee shop here in Shasta Lake City called Heritage. So on today's episode of Rooted in Reading, if you are looking for a great neighborhood that has a sense of community, pride in ownership, as well as access to some of the best outdoor activities, you're going to want to stick around. Today, we're going to take you on a tour of a neighborhood that I love, which is called Windsor Estates, and why so many people in our community choose it. So let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Rooted in Reading. I'm Faith Barrett, your local guide to everything here. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as we post weekly on this channel about Reading and the housing market as a whole. Today, I'm really excited because we're actually going to do a whole neighborhood tour on Windsor Estates, like I said, at Heritage. This is a really popular neighborhood here in Shasta Lake City, and there's pros, cons, and reasons why you should consider this neighborhood, so let's go check it out. Now, welcome to Windsor Estates. Now, this neighborhood has close to about 200 homes in here, and a lot of people are always asking, what does this neighborhood have to offer? And we have everything from a 13 to 1,500 square feet in the very high threes, sometimes pushing the low fours, depending if it has a pool or if it's super upgraded, all the way to 1,800, even a little bit over 2,000 square feet. And that price range is going to be high fours, pushing into the high fives. Now, as you get to the back end of Windsor Estates, it's going to be a lot of newer part of Windsor. Those homes are kind of 2015 to 2017, and you're going to see that they're a little bit more of that upgraded, elevated kind of feel, whereas the beginning part of Windsor Estates is really early 2000 when the neighborhood started to be developed. So there are some pros and cons to living here in Windsor Estate. One is some people don't love that it's maybe a little bit more cookie cutter. You will get some differential in, stucco to a craftsman style. Other people are just looking for that character, but the majority of people here in Windsor Estate love to live here because you are so close to Reading. It's literally 10 minutes to Reading. And so between the utilities company that we talked about last week with Shasta Lake Utilities being its primary company here for electricity, it really allows people to be at an affordable cost from entry level to home to also lifestyle of utilities overall. Now, to give you a little sense of understanding of what these homes have to offer, we're actually going to give you a little sneak peek of our current listing here over on Autumn Harvest. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, almost 1,400 square feet with a pool, and we have it listed for $419,000. So as we explore the front part of Windsor Estates, that being Autumn Harvest area, we're now at the back half of Windsor Estates. Now, this is a little bit of the newer part, that being the age of the homes are typically between 2015, 2017, even some are brand new construction. Now, the price points do get a little bit higher up here. The homes do get a little bit bigger. So we actually have another listing back here that's 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, almost 1,700 square feet with a pool. And this one starts at $515,000. Now, a lot of people do like the back half of Windsor Estates because 1, it is quieter, but 2, you have incredible mountain views from some view lots of homes that are available for sale. So let's go check it out. hope seeing the comparison between Autumn Harvest and Chaucer and kind of what the neighborhood can offer was helpful to you. Now, you might be wondering, like, Faith, why are you standing back here at a dead end? Well, the development of Windsor Estate actually has a phase 3. Now, it's been in the works since 2020, and truthfully, last year, the developer looked into starting to expand Windsor Estates, but due to the economy, inflation, the cost to build, and where the prices of these homes would have to be, it just hasn't quite made sense yet. So will there be a phase 3? I don't know, but I will tell you that it has always been an option back here on Chaucer Way. Now, what I think would be actually really helpful is we've given you the whole overview of the neighborhood. I really want to show you how close is this neighborhood to downtown Shasta Lake City and what Shasta Lake City actually offers for you as a resident here. Okay, so I've never done this in a video tour or even just one of my Rooted in Reading episodes, but I thought it would actually be fun to give you kind of like an in-person dash cam view of Shasta Lake City, especially since it's small enough to really recap it. Mind you, we are a little over 10,000 people here in Shasta Lake City. So what we have as a main strip is really kind of, easy daily life necessities like a grocery store, coffee shop. We have Rite Aid over here. But I also wanted to give you that scenic route all the way to Shasta Lake so you can really experience why people love living here in Shasta Lake City itself. So coming down, we have the Rite Aid on the left-hand side. In our previous episode, we did talk a lot about how, Shasta Lake has kind of experienced a lot of vacancy with buildings. And so you are going to see a little bit more rundown buildings towards the tail end of Shasta Dam Boulevard. That's kind of in the revitalization program of making Shasta Lake a little bit better. But from everything that you might need, from a pizza parlor to a little bit of dining options to a bank, to some medical options. There's even a Shasta Community Health Center in the Shasta Lake area. There's just a little bit of something here on this main strip that can suit your, daily needs that you don't want to drive into City of Reading for. So some of my favorite spots here on Shasta Dam Boulevard is as you come up, you're going to see the beginning of the revitalization. So this is called Cascade Village. It's about a $36.5 million project. And essentially it's going to provide 49 units of affordable housing, as well as 8,000 square feet of commercial space, office space. And it's going to be really exciting once it's all done, just to kind of give Shasta Lake a little bit of a different tone. On the right-hand side, we have the Farmers Marketplace. I've utilized this marketplace very frequently in, being in this area. Great grocery store, has a lot of things that you would need on a daily basis. Over here is the popular Pizza Factory spot. So if you need a quick, to-go pizza that night, they got you covered. Coming down the strip, you're going to see a little bit of the Veterans Memorial. Over on the right-hand side, a little bit tucked off of Shasta Dam Boulevard, is actually a park that a lot of people utilize. And then where we started in the very beginning was Heritage Coffee Shop. That is kind of the well-known coffee spot here. They got breakfast, lunch items, coffee. It's great. On the right-hand side, you're going to have the Shasta Community Health Center, and that really services the community here. But, obviously, if you need a larger medical service, you're going to go to this, Reading itself. Coming down, there's a few more dining options. And as we get to the tail end, you're going to start kind of seeing these more, vacant buildings that just really need to be revitalized. These were here during the period of when the dam was being built. And unfortunately, as the city has kind of gone through its waves and, maybe not the growth that it was hoping for, these buildings have kind of sat vacant for quite some time. However, Shasta Lake is really known for its lake. So you got some live bait tackle shops here, and we're really just going to head to Shasta Lake because this is what people love about living here. Is from Windsor Estates, you are literally 10 minutes. Santa Moody is a great boat launch, and then right after Santa Moody, which we'll drive to, is Shasta Dam, and people all over will come walk the dam, experience walking along, one of the largest water reservoirs here, and get outside and experience some nature. Now, a fun fact is if you are somebody who likes to, mountain bike or even, race on your dirt bike across Shasta Dam. You are able to go across Shasta Dam. I will say, as a local, I never knew, can I actually go across Shasta Dam? But you can actually go across Shasta Dam, and there's all kinds of trails. There's typically active racing events happening, and that is like an entire landscape of outdoor trails ready for you to access. So just go across Shasta Dam, just say, hey, I just want to, ride my bike, and they'll let you across and you can go experience some trails. So let's go see Shasta Lake and what everybody loves to, admire about it. So if I haven't convinced you already that maybe Windsor Estates should be a neighborhood you choose, especially considering Shasta Lake, let's recap the pros. Pros is affordable living, cheaper utilities, which on average you're saving about maybe 30 to 40% in utility costs compared to Shasta County as a whole, especially if you're in PG&E land. Your close proximity to the lake. And then the con, I would say, is that some people who are looking for more character and less of that cookie cutter neighborhood may not be as attracted to Windsor Estates. And the last con that we haven't really talked about a little bit, but we always talk about it as a whole, is fire insurance. Some of the houses that do back up to a green belt could trip into a high fire zone. And so that's just something that you should always consider when moving into any neighborhood. What is the fire score? What's the fire insurance look like? But those houses sometimes can cause a higher insurance premium. Overall, Shasta Lake offers a lot of great opportunities if you're considering moving to our area. And Windsor Estate, I will say, is a very hot and popular neighborhood with a great opportunity to live a great life. So as always, thanks for tuning into this week's episode of Rooted in Redding, especially a little bit of a unique one with a neighborhood tour and overall of Shasta Lake City as a whole. If you missed last week's episode of the breakdown of Shasta Lake City, don't forget to catch that episode. And as always, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment below your thoughts, and we'll catch you next week.